Welcome, guys. So, in our series of PostgreSQL, today we are starting our major topic, which is backup and restore. So, what are the utilities, how we take the backups, and how to restore them back? So, we'll discuss them all in this videos. Maybe we are doing more than one video for this. So, let's start the videos. Okay, so let's start this major topic. So our first thing is what are backups? So backup is a copy of the database or a part of it that is taken to protect against data loss. And you want to restore the database to previous state. Like if you have if regularly in the production databases you took backups regularly so that in case of failure or any downtime, or if someone accidentally removes something, some database, some table, so that can be restored by these backups which we have taken. Okay, so that is the latest backup we restore to that point. So that's why we take the backups regularly, so that we'll not in a condition of data loss, or we need less time to restore the data. So backups are essential for ensuring data integrity and availability. So if your data is lost or something, so backups are the only way to restore your data, so that everything your data will be back, and your production system, everything will be available as it was before the uh, downtime, or before it was before someone drops any table. So backups are required to restore your database back. So there are several types of backups that can be performed in PostgreSQL, and each type has its own advantage, and the and we need to decide what we need to use. Okay, what is required for a particular time. If there is a requirement of downtime, if there is a requirement of some particular restore factors, so we need to think about them, and then we'll do the backups, and then we restore them back. So there are mainly two categories: physical backup and logical backup. Okay, so what are physical backups? So physical backup is a byte by byte copy of the database files. It includes all the data files, configuration of the database, transaction logs, all the things about the database. Like it has all your data directory, which has all your configuration and all the files. So physical backup is about copying your data directory. So but this to restore physical backups, there may be downtime requirement. Okay, so we usually not do physical backups in most of the cases. Logical backups are fine. So physical backups have further two categories. uh, One is offline, online, for the two categories for physical backups. So also we have two kind of physical backups: file system level backups and continuous archiving and point in time recovery. So file system, what are file system backups? In this type of backup, the entire database directory is copied. Data files, configuration files, transaction logs. It is a straightforward method, but requires downtime. This is the main part of physical backup. Mm, And what is continuous archiving and point in time recovery? With this archiving, continuous archiving, transaction logs, but which in the case of Postgres, then they are called as wall or write ahead logs. Okay, are continuously archived to a separate location. Like these logs are archived to a particular location, and which allows you to ignore the database, restore the database to a specific point in time. Like all the logs for a database, those are stored on some point, and you can use those logs to restore the database. Okay, so this is more advanced type of this file system level backup, and it also uh, has all your data. Okay, so these are the physical backups. Let's move towards our next category, which is logical backup. So this is the major category we are going to talk about. So also in our production system, this is most used widely. Okay, so what are logical backups? So logical backups exports the data in a structured format, such as SQL statements or some dump files. You can use them to restore your the database, particular database, whole database, a particular table, anything you want from a database, you can restore them. But first you need to take the backup of this, not like this continuous time archiving and point in time recovery. Those are wall files are backed up continuously. But in this case, logical backup, you need to take the backup using some utility. You can schedule these backups as well, but there's some script or something you need to force to take the backups. Okay, logical backups are more flexible in terms of flexible selective data. Like if you want to take a particular table backup, or if you want to take the data only or the structure only of the database, so and ignore some triggers, ignore some indexes, ignore particular database, you can do with these logical backups. So in most of the cases, logical backups are more usable in our environments. So what are the types of logical backups we can discuss? So first is SQL dump. So it is a textual representation of the database data and schema in SQL statements. Like we can take the backup of our database in a particular SQL file, which we can read, and we can use that file to ex- uh, im- restore our database. So these dumps can be created using pgdump utility and restored using psql command line tool. Okay, so these are usually most human friendly, most user friendly dumps we can take. Another one is custom format dumps. So these are dumps binary files created. Like we can use the same pg dump, and with there is an option f hyphen fc. I'll show you in when we are doing labs how we see these options and what are these. So I'll be showing you them in labs. So if you use this option in this, so we'll take the dump of the files which are binary files, which are not much human friendly, or we cannot see them in more detail, but they're uh, but these are more uh, faster faster backups, and performance wise SQL dumps for binary files are more advanced. Okay, so to restore the selective data. So these are all the backups have their own use. So we need to consider which backup strategy we want to follow in our environment. The third one is logical replication. We'll be seeing it in our next videos, maybe later, but just telling you in brief. PostgreSQL supports logical replication where changes to database can be streamed to another database. Like we can call it as one server as a master, one can be called as slave server. So in case we require something and thing is dropped, we can take the copy from that logical replication and restore it over to master, or all the things can be restored depending on our requirement. So this is master application also uh, provided by PostgreSQL. Okay, so these are logical backups. So what are the benefits of logical backups? So logical backups is this simple and textual representation of data which you can read, uh, maybe SQL files or TXT files. You can use any of the files. Okay. Also, you can take the backups using tar and custom binary formats, which are dump files. So you can take any of the backups using logical backups. So SQL dump create the consistent copy of the data, like um, your data is consistent with from the starting point to its end. All that data you will be taken with the dump. Small databases like which are in MB of size or GB of sizes, they are the best suitable for perfect for logical backups. If you have TBs or some more data in your database, then you can prefer uh, uh, that dump files or physical backups, those are things. But for small databases, uh, PG dump and those are very much suitable. They won't take much time. So these are the two utilities for taking the backups: PG dump and PG dump all. I'll be showing you these in detail when we are doing the lab. Okay, so that's all from this, and I'll be seeing you in lab. Thank you.